So we're back at Teamsport Dunstable for another race academy session. This time it's a 20-minute race and I'm starting P3. As you can see, I'm P4 on the grid, but that's only because there's a race instructor in P1 who's basically going to be instructing the race, sort of. And now it's a green light. Don't get an amazing start to it, it's a pretty good start. I get T-bone from the side over there and I already lose one position off the start. Then somebody else tries to go on my right, but I manage to defend it. Now we just almost, and we do, hit the back of the person in front of me, which slows me down massively. And now there's a big gap in front of us. But the person in front of me actually just recently switched over to adult karts from cadet karts, and he's quite fast on the straights and basically everywhere that isn't a corner because just how light he is. Now we're going across the start finish line for the first complete lap of this race. I actually lost the position there, so that's not very good. Now we're going on the up front, and I just barely managed to avoid a collision on him. Now he goes for a gap that doesn't exist, and I almost go for one, which means that the person can almost overtake me in the right, but luckily he doesn't. And luckily my car managed to wake up, then I just absolutely lose the rear. So, I mean, that's not very good. Managed to still defend the position though. There's a little glitch in the camera. But anyway, no, I've basically undone anything that I've gained on the person in front of me because of how far behind I was and all the mistakes I did in the span of like 20 seconds. But I'm still trying to catch up to him slowly but surely, except on the straights and on the up front because he just blasts down there at like twice the speed of me, or at least it feels like it. And now I'm trying to make up any excuse I can possibly think of to why I'm not in P1 already, and probably just get good, I'd say. Yeah. So the person from me makes another mistake because he can't number 10, and I managed to get even closer than before, but I'm still a long way away from P1. And yeah, then the person on the left of me tries overtaking me, but luckily I can still stick to it. I can feel him breathing down my neck by now though, so my time has surely come for him to overtake me, but hopefully not too soon. And I'm actually catching up to the people in front of me, but I guess that's only because and now the person on the right of me is looking for an opportunity to overtake. I try to keep my space, but I just barely miss out. But then I go for a dive bomb because I know that that other guy brakes quite early, and I actually managed to save the position. Yeah, and then I almost hit the person in front of me again, which seems to be a reoccurring thing because you just have really inconsistent exits. Now I'm side by side with number 10, and I do sort of just run him out of the way. I mean, the guy behind me pushed me into him, sort of, so I couldn't really do much, because then if I broke too hard, then I would have gotten hit from behind. But at least now I'm P3. I'd do another dive bomb, and Melvin's caught in the crossfire over there, sorry to him. And now I try to go for P1 because the other person's on my inside, and I do manage to stick the move into P1, only behind the instructor of course, after a long series, well not really long, it's like another 30 seconds, but a series of not very clean moves as I get a terrible exit to the down ramp over there. And so yeah, I'm not really catching up to the race instructor, even though his entire purpose in this race was to slow us down. Oh, there's a small yellow flag here. I think it'll resolve in a little bit, but for now I have to slow down loads because the instructors are quite strict on how fast you're supposed to be going on the yellows, even though he is weaving, which is not meant to do that. Yeah, I get a not phenomenal start, and there's a person behind me that's trying to overtake, and it can seem like I didn't leave him space, but I'm about to show you what actually happened there, from my point of view. So if we look back to where he didn't leave me space and pushed me up against the corner, the hairpin, you can see that I was clearly at least 50% in front of him. Like, my nose cone is basically on his wheels all the way past his side pod, so he definitely should have left me space instead of turning on right there. But then now, as you can see, when I didn't leave him space, he was nowhere near my front wheels. He barely was next to my side pod, so I wasn't required to leave him space because he wasn't 50% in front of me. Anyway, so now we're going down the down ramp with the instructor, and I think there's going to be a yellow light soon. Yes, there was a yellow light, and I'll just show a picture right now of the cadets that crashed because you can't see it too clearly in the picture. Anyway, the race restart, and I don't get a very good restart off the line. I try to defend the position, but then the person behind me just rams into me, and now I'm in P2. Then he hits me into the outside of the wall, and then now I'm in P3. Almost get pushed into P4, but guy on the left does leave me enough space because he knows that he knows that it won't help if he just pushes me into the wall again. So now I'm a little bit annoyed and a little bit disappointed. A little bit annoyed because the guy just T-boned me. But I mean, I guess that's fair because I did the exact same to Melvin, so I'm back in the position I would have been. But also I'm a little bit disappointed in myself because I didn't react quick enough to the green lights. Oh, now there's already a back marker behind us. Not really sure how that happened, because for some reason in some of the race academy races they do let the cadets race with us, which I mean is kind of pointless, but now they're starting to do less and less races with the cadets. Well, at least it seems like it, and I hope they do less because it's just a little bit annoying to try to get past them because how much slower they are. Anyway, so now we're catching up to another yellow light, which I'm actually quite sure turned out to be a race restart. But yeah, we're going to try to skip to the end of the yellow light in a little bit. But yeah, we've just been bumping so much. We were told before this race to try to keep it clean, but don't keep it too clean. Like, don't brake too hard, and don't try to not go on moves that we would have usually been on. But I mean, oh well. So now it's at the end of the race restart with everyone bunched up together, and again I don't get a phenomenal start. There's already a cart with a gap ahead of me to the person in front, and I'm just not doing too good. But he's just barreling it down on the straights, and I'm just slow. Not really sure how that works. Do catch him up to him under braking though, which is always a good thing to see. No, I mean, it's not really much for me to do. I can try to fight my way to the front, but I have a feeling that I've already gotten a few penalties because I have pushed past some people, at least like once or twice. So I'm probably not going to end up P3 anyway. And I mean, off the title of this video, you could probably figure that out anyway. But yeah, I'm just bumping into him a little bit over there, which causes me to, again, not get a very good exit. Then somehow I bump into him again, which I really don't want to brake too hard, and then the guy who is in front of me at the start of the race comes in, and I've skipped ahead a little bit because it's a bit boring there. And then now I'm down to P5 as well because I get a bad exit to the double ramp. I try to take it back, but it just doesn't work, and now I've basically lost all hope because I just keep making so many mistakes. And under braking, I keep bumping into the people in front of me. Again, it just happened again. Like, I'm just talking about it. And now we've actually got to the most eventful part of this race with even more bumping. The person in front of me overtakes to the guy on the left, and I go 3 wide into the hairpin. I have to push the cadet out wide, I have no choice. Look at the cadet in front of us. He swerves and makes the guy on the left brake really hard. Now he blocks me. Now I get overtaken again, but then the cadet pushes the other guy into the wall, which is just crazy. Like, you never see something like that happen in a race, especially Race Academy Intermediates, and I think this might have even been a mixed session where they're advanced, but I'm not sure. No, actually it's just intermediates. Yeah, look at that, 3 wide, I have to push him out of the way, then the cadet in front of me just swerves. I'm not very sure why, but he just does. Then I get blocked, and then he just squishes the person on the left. Like, it makes no sense. Like, zero situational awareness. Don't know what's going on there, but yeah. Anyway, so we tried to make a move to number 10 in front of us, and yeah, we just barge him out the way, really. And I just take the position. Then we barge in front of another cadet, which I'm sure his racing line suffered immensely off of that dive bomb that I just did. And yeah, I mean, now there's not really much. As you know, I cut off a few laps because of the 3 frequent yellow lights in this race. So, and there's not really anything else interesting that happens here. Mostly just dies down. I do overtake this cadet in front of me, but everybody else in front of me and behind me is just so far behind that there's no more action in this race. And yeah, but I'll just speak because I feel like it. No person in front of me, questionable way to let me through on the back straight, but I mean, I guess it's okay since I'm not really battling for position anymore. But yeah, right after we come in for the checkered flag in a little bit, then I'll show you what I think about how the race went, and then I'll give you my current opinions on it right now. So now it's the end of the race, and as the title in the video suggests, I went down to P8. I don't even know how, but I clipped the barriers of the pit entrance there. And yeah, overall not a good race. P8 is actually the worst adult position
I
at
kept
race.
banging everyone and everyone kept banging me. Because I like to brake late a lot of the time, yeah? So when somebody brakes early in front of me, I have to brake really hard, yeah? And then the person behind me bumps into me, and then I bump into the person in front of me. Yeah, it's definitely a time penalty, because look at that. Like, somehow, Nate is in front of me, even though he was further behind.
I went from 8th to 3rd.
No, I just got 10 billion time penalties, so... You know how many penalties we got when they had to restart the race?
Yeah.
So that's basically what I had to say about it. Because you might look at this 10-minute video shortened out of 20 and then think, oh, you know what, that wasn't very much bumping. You only really bumped each other like once or twice. But I mean, it's quite a lot for a race that has penalties in it, and it's giving out penalties and has people who have the common sense to drive cleanly. But I mean, not really much I can do about it now. So after the 3 5-second time penalties, I ended up being 8th out of 8 adults, and I think there were like 12 people total in the race, like 3 or 4 cadets. So yeah, not very good. Then the race instructor spoke with me after, and then basically said, yeah, you just have to be a bit more careful, and not really much you can do if someone's trying to push you into other people. But yeah, overall quite a lot of bumping there. But yeah, I'm not really sure how to end the video, so I guess I'll just sort of